Hey, aspiring author. Does writing and publishing a book feel like this big, mysterious process that only special people can do? It's not as complicated as it looks. Whether you're stuck, overwhelmed, or just don't know where to start, pull up a chair, grab your tea, because I want to share something special with you today. I recently went live inside of my Book Writing Made Simple Facebook community, and I taught a live training on how to implement simple, doable steps into your entire book writing process. The same steps that will help you stop being overwhelmed, stuck, and distracted. If writing a book has felt overwhelming, complicated, or just flat out confusing, this is going to remind you that it doesn't have to be. All right, let's jump into the training replay. I pray this blesses you. Ready to write your first book and make an impact? Do you wish you could organize your book ideas without feeling overwhelmed and actually find the time to write and finish your book? Hey, I'm Donna Cherie, a book writing coach and author. Welcome to Book Writing Made Simple. Inside this podcast, I'll teach you how to get a clear vision for your book idea, get organized, keep it simple, and develop a writing plan so you can finally get your book out into the world. Grab a notebook and pen with your favorite cup of tea. Hey, Book Writing Made Simple community. I hope that you all are doing well. It's Donna Cherie here, and I am here because I want to be available to you all who are in the group for a Q&A session at least once a month. So I'll be doing this once a month moving forward. Today is our first one, and I'm super excited about it. And today I want to talk to you about I have my notes here. So if you see me looking down or in another place, it's because I am looking at my notes so that I don't forget anything. But today I want to talk to you about 7 simple ways to write and publish your book, because many of you in the group are in the process of writing a book, or you have a desire to write your book. You haven't got started yet for a number of reasons. There are some of you who desire to understand the process of how to write a book. And today I just want to provide you with a simple guide on that, because I know that writing a book sometimes looks like this monumental task that just seems unbearable, that seems as if it cannot be accomplished. But I'm here to reassure you that writing your book is achievable, that it is doable, that you can, no matter how long you've been wanting to write your book or have been in the process, that you can do it with the help of the Lord, with the help of a book writing coach such as myself, and just getting the tools and the resources, the knowledge, the wisdom that you need to be able to write and publish your book. So be sure to get out your notebook, your pen, or take notes however you desire to, so that you can have this information. And today, I'm just going to simply break down some steps that can help you, that feels doable, that feels simple, and definitely, most certainly not overwhelming to you. If you've been stuck because you don't understand the process, or you feel like you need the whole picture, you need to understand the beginning to the end before you can actually get started, this is going to help you. And when I began writing my first book, I thought that, publishing a book was this big mysterious thing that only certain people could do it, that only certain people had access to. But now more than ever, so many people are self-publishing their book rather than going the traditional route. And I believe there's so much power in self-publishing, if that's something that you desire to do. And that's something that I also teach as well, so that you can own your book in its entirety and be able to do as you please with it, or as the Lord has shown you what to do once you publish your book. But publishing is no longer this mystery thing. There's so many resources out there. There's so much information. about publishing, but yet that can also still feel like a beast too. And there was a time when I felt like that and I didn't know where to start. And I am a big picture person. I like to see the vision and all of that. But once I really begin to get my plan together and be able to understand the fundamentals of just the book writing process alone, by the time I got to the publishing piece, I was ready. And that's also what I want you to focus on, is not more so about, oh, how am I going to publish, but get through the writing process first, and then you can talk about your publishing needs. Once you're in the editing phase, that's a good place to start thinking about your route to publishing. And we can get into publishing in at another time as well. So, the first tip, the first step that I want you to write down is, and that is very vital, very important. It doesn't matter what kind of book you're writing. I don't even care if it's a recipe book. I'm actually helping someone write their first recipe book, and I'm so excited about it. But what you need to do is clarify your message. What is the message of your book? What is your book about? Who is it for? What is the transformation? What do you hope that people will accomplish after they read your book? Like, what do you want the outcome to be? It's so important to be able to clarify your message, even in your book. We talk about clarifying the message in public speaking, but you're still speaking, but it's through writing in your book. And so you want to make sure that you clarify your message. That is number one. You got to get that and understand what that is for your book. The second step is to choose your book structure. What kind of book are you writing? You may be wondering, okay, what is the process? So this is a part of the process. Choose your book structure. Are you going to be writing a memoir? Are you writing a devotional? Are you writing a how-to manual? Are you creating a recipe book? What type of book are you writing? And write it down. Put it in your plan so that you know what style of book that you're going to have, so that when you write, it can reflect that. So if it's a memoir, that will be first person, and you're going to be sharing a lot of descriptives, a lot of details, a lot of personal experiences in your story, and that will help you to write your book, to fill in your chapters when you know what your book structure is. So that's number two. The third step is to create a simple outline. If you've been rocking with me for a while, you know that I say that your outline is your bullseye. It is where you keep your eyes. You need to have a simple outline so that it can guide you while you are in the writing process. This is so critical. It is very critical. And just like they taught us in English class, about an outline, I didn't see much value in it, when I was in grade school. But now, as a book writing coach and writing books, I understand that having just a simple outline is so critical. It's so helpful, and it will help you get to the finish line. It doesn't have to be super in depth. It doesn't have to be super comprehensive, but just something simple that will help keep you on track as you are in your book writing journey. This is a part of the process. I also want to mention that I think some people think that the process is just so, what's the word I'm looking for? That is like, it's overcomplicated, that is super difficult. And I want to assure you that it can be a simple, guided process, that it doesn't have to be very, rigid and super time consuming. But if you apply these simple steps that I'm giving you today, this is your process when it comes to writing a book. So create your simple outline. And then the fourth step after you do that is to write your first draft. So your first draft, it doesn't have to be super neat. It doesn't have to be super pretty, but you need to have a first draft. It's not going to be perfect, but it's where you can get all of your thoughts out. It's where you can get everything out that you desire to say and share in your book so that you can have a first draft. And your first draft should rely on your outline. It should rely on your book structure, and it should rely and match up with your message. So use those things as a guide. I always say you should have a book vision plan. I think that's very important, and your first draft should be tailored toward your book vision plan. It should be tailored toward your outline, the structure, and the message of your book. These are the foundational pieces. So, and in order to create your first draft, again, you need to be keeping your outline before you. It's your bullseye. That's going to help you if you desire to fill in your chapters or know what to write about. What does it say in your outline? What does your outline tell you to do? And filling your chapters that way by looking at your outline. And then if you, of course, making sure that you have a writing schedule. So if you might be thinking, hey, I don't have time for my first draft. I don't have time to write this. Yes, you do. You have 15 minutes. You have 30 minutes. You have an hour in your week. You have hours in your month to where you can make time to write your first draft, and you need to review your calendar to see where those gaps are and where those time gaps are so that you can fill that in with writing your book. So that is how you can get your first draft done, is by having a writing schedule, sticking to that schedule, being diligent, being consistent, by showing up, by relying on the Lord, by asking for his help, and going from there. You can get it done. And of course, too, with accountability, you can get your first draft completed. Okay, so the fifth step, and this is after you have your first draft, is that you can edit. You can edit. So there's different levels and different layers of editing. You can, after you create your first draft, you can yourself go back and look through your manuscript to make any edits. Don't remove all of the content, but if there's simple things that you felt like there was some gaps, some things that you need to fill in and go back into the chapter, then do that. And I only recommend that after you have your first draft, because if you try to do this while you're still in the writing process, it's just going to frustrate you. It's going to overwhelm you. And then it's just going to be this hamster wheel of just staying in the book writing process in the cycle and never actually coming to completion. So make sure that you apply this step after you have your first draft. So you can self revise, you can self edit. That's one layer. And then you can hire someone else to edit for you. Or you can have a friend, someone who also writes books. Or if they love to read a good book, have them look it over and provide feedback to you. That's another level of editing. I guess I would call that peer editing. I'm not sure if that's a real term, but look, I'm coining it for today. But you can have a peer edit your first draft and allow them to give you feedback. And then, of course, that third layer will be professional editing and getting someone to edit your draft once you feel that it's totally done, like you've gotten out everything that you desire for your book and all of that good stuff. So that's the fifth step. The sixth step is once you receive your edits back is to be able to go ahead and make those changes of what those individuals suggested for you and if they align with the message of your book, with the style of your voice and tone, if you're okay with those edits. And after that, you're going to want to format your manuscript for publishing. So that happens after editing. And there's a lot of different ways that individuals can format a book, and this doesn't have to be left up to you. This can happen through someone else's help. It doesn't have to be just from yourself. I mean, of course, you can have your own vision of what you desire for your book to look like and let the person who's helping you publish know that. Or if you're doing it yourself, honestly, I don't recommend that you do it yourself unless you are really like a graphic designer or this is your jam, this you know of how to format a book, because the content can be really great and the writing can be really great, but when someone looks at the format and if it's not professional looking, if it's not catching, then that can be a real turnoff for when you are marketing your book. And you definitely don't want that. You want a professional looking book. The cover, the inside of it, the back cover, you want it to be in top notch shape. There are books that I've heard of that people have told me, oh, yeah, this is a great book. It's wonderful. But when I look at the cover or when I open the inside of it, the content is not aligned, it's not centered. And that is not appealing to me. And it makes me not want to read the book. So again, I recommend when it comes to formatting your book for publishing after the finishing of the editing phase that you get someone who is a professional in this area. That's just my 2 cents on that. And if you are somebody who this is your jam, this is what you thrive on, you said, hey, Donna Cherie, I can do it. What are you talking about? Then go for it. And of course, there's free tools that can help you, free and paid tools that can help you accomplish that, which are Canva, Adobe InDesign. There's tools in Amazon and other self-publishing platforms that can help you format a book. So, hey, if that is you, go for it. But for those of you who are like, I'm not sure, then hire a professional. Hire a professional. And even on Fiverr, there are individuals too who can help you, Fiverr or Upwork, who can help you format your manuscript for publishing. So that's step number 6. And then the last step of the process to, help you write and publish your book is to choose your publishing path. What is that path for you? Will you be going the self-publishing route or will you be going the traditional route? Of course, there's pros and cons to each one, but it's truly up to you or up to what the Lord has revealed to you or told you to do concerning your book. But those are the 2 paths. It's either self-publishing or traditional. And if you're going to go the self-publishing route, there are different opportunities for that in ways in which you can self-publish your book, and then which gives you autonomy, full control. It's faster. It has more royalties than traditional. You can have price control. You can market in different ways that you desire and be creative with that. And then with traditional, that could be a slower process. It could be harder to get into. There's less control and autonomy over your book. There's lots of different things. Traditional is not bad at all, but it does have limitations as well as self-publishing does too. But again, choose your publishing path, the one that best suits for what you have envisioned to do or what God has spoken to you. in the marketplace or in ministry or wherever it is that you desire to have your book. So make sure that that is part of your plan as well, to choose your publishing path. And those are pretty much the steps to simple steps to help you write and publish your first book. If you have those components in place, it is totally, totally doable. And I can reassure you that it is definitely worthwhile. It's something that will be so rewarding. It's so legacy impacting in so many ways and kingdom impacting once you do write your book. And I just don't want these steps to be scary for you, but for you to just see them as they are and to see them clearly. You don't need to know everything in all of like the ins of the outs, because publishing and even book writing there is so much information, and then there's also misinformation, and it is such a large industry, and it encompasses so much in so many different layers. But that's not something that you have to think about or be concerned about if you just follow these steps that I'm providing you today. And if you go back and listen to different episodes in my podcast, you really will be able to see that writing and publishing your book can be in simplicity if you do it with the Lord, and when you do it with a trusted and someone filled of wisdom who can help guide you along the way. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. And I hope that it was beneficial to you. I hope that you gained some information on how to do it. If you have any other questions, of course, you can reach out to me. You can put your questions in the Facebook group, and then the next time we have our Q&A, I'll be sure to answer that. I can even create a post to, if you have any questions, so that they can be answered, and I can prepare ahead of time for the next Q&A. If you have questions, whether it's related to publishing, whether it's related to book writing, whether it's related to your specific book and your needs, I'd be happy to answer your questions. So thanks so much. I pray that this blesses you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Ciao.
Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's episode inspired you to take that next step to write your book. Remember, small steps lead to big results. If this podcast has blessed you in some way, be sure to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. Your support means the world to me, and it helps others to find the show. Also, be sure to pass on the inspiration by sharing this episode with a friend who could benefit from this message. God bless you, sis, and never, ever give up.